happy to be the convener for this session. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to learn some skills we can all use as Toastmasters. But we've got a trio of experienced Toastmasters who are eager to help engage you in a spirited session on developing skills to better sell your club. Pat Kroll's been a Toastmaster for over 18 years. Is the immediate past district governor and works as a sales director for Access Genetics in Eden Prairie. She believes we all began learning the skills to good selling at a very, very young age. For her, it was Girl Scout cookies. She'll introduce skills you can cultivate and use today to sell everything from cookies to jeans. And we don't mean blue jeans. Robbie Rye is a past district leader. The guy who will be taking home a trunk load of stuff today. And he's been the winner of the Lou Novak Award for starting new clubs. He believes in leadership from within. He believes that our internal leadership helps us overcome external challenges. In Robbie's section of the seminar today, he'll be talking about the resistance and emotions that are inside of us and how they affect the selling process. The experiences we gain in Toastmasters help us understand those challenges and to overcome them. So last but not least, Keo Chang is a charter member of the Zailu Dragon Speakers and has served as club president and secretary. Keo is passionate about helping improve the Hmong community and is very active in many groups as a community volunteer. She has over 10 years of experience in insurance and financial service sales, and that takes a lot of skill nowadays. Her objective today is to help you remove the obstacles. All three presenters are members of Saturday Morning Live, as am I. Great club, come visit us. And it's a club that specializes in advanced evaluations. The session title is From Cookies to Jeans, Sales Skills to Benefit Even the Most Timid Toastmaster. Please help me welcome Pat, Robbie, and Keo.
Thank you, Madam, Mr. Division Governor. I made you a madam. Fellow Toastmasters and friends, welcome. Today I'd like to start off by telling you a little story. And does anybody else want to come in? There's a spot right in front, just like a church. And there's one right up here, there's one right up here. So if anybody wants to come over here. There's two over here. I'd like to tell you a little bit about how I first got started selling in a sales career. And perhaps when I'm telling you my story, you can think back way back when you had your first experience selling something. Now, I was a Girl Scout. Back when I was about 8 or 9 years old, I had my mindset on getting out in communities to sell my Girl Scout cookies. And I lived in my community in Crystal, Minnesota, where I could go door to door to door for blocks and blocks and blocks and blocks and miles. My mom would never worry about me. You know, remember the days. Well, I went door to door to door to sell Girl Scout cookies. And my goal was to sell the most Girl Scout cookies because I had seen a previous friend from the previous year win the Girl Scout cookie cake. So I thought, well, gosh, if she can win the Girl Scout cookie cake, and I love Girl Scout cookies so much I could sell them to anybody, I'm going to knock on everybody's door. So I knocked on everybody's door for miles on end. I knocked on Mrs. Johnson's door, and she said, no, Pat, I don't want Girl Scout cookies. I have my own Girl Scout. And I knocked on A.C. Carlson's door, I'm sure, and he bought 10 boxes of Girl Scout cookies from me. Probably even more. And I knocked on Mrs. Gillerman's, and she said, no, I really don't like Girl Scout cookies. You know, they have too many calories, things like that. I was persistent. I went from door to door to door. And I sold 500 boxes of Girl Scout cookies. And I won the cookie king. I was the cookie queen. So it all started at Girl Scouts created a monster, I realized. How many of you have some similar sales experience? Either you were a Girl Scout, cookie seller, you sold wreaths, you've asked people for donations perhaps. You've tried to sell your parents on something using the family car, staying out past curfew, going to the dance, doing something that you wanted to change idea you sold a product perhaps? How many of you sell for a living? Few people, a number of people do. I submit that today, that all of those skills that you started with way back when, just like I did when I was in Girl Scouts, and I know our panel has also, cultivated some skills, and we're going to ask you to bubble up to the surface today and try them out to build membership in your clubs. Now, I'm going to bring it full circle, so just so you know what the jeans are about. Now, we didn't wear jeans today. I was fortunate enough 2 years ago to change careers. I got out of the direct medical care area, and now I'm in medical lab-related sales because somebody noticed something in me that I could sell, or I could create some relationships along the way. Now, it didn't happen very easily. I mean, I was a rough Girl Scout. I mean, I got out there and I knocked on doors and I knocked over things. I think a lot of my experience and ability to sell to what we learned here in Toastmasters. So what? We put this together. Hopefully you'll get something out of this today that you can bring home with you and help make your club the best it can be. Here are some of our objectives today. Our participants, as participants in this seminar, and I know some of you might not be able to read this, but I'm going to read them out loud. To assess your sales comfort, and I'm going to ask you a couple questions in just a moment. To learn 2 to 3 sales skills that you may apply in your life as a Toastmaster and beyond, perhaps. To learn 1 to 2 methods to overcome some objections. When you get that no from Mrs. Gellerman, but AC never gave me a no. And then we're going to try out those skills in a little quick breakout section. You all have a handout in front of you today, and I would like you to refer to that because each of us, when we actually do a little presentation for you, we're going to ask you to refer to this, and this is something that you can take notes on and take home. And I will make sure I get this to Ellen Bernard so that we can post this on the website. So if you decide you want to download it and change it and fix it, you can certainly do that. It's not copyrighted. Is this copyrighted? No, it's not copyrighted. It's not copyrighted. But so this is for your use. Okay, so how many of you enjoy selling something to somebody? Okay, you like that? You like people to say yes, right? How many people like being sold to? When somebody comes, you like someone to come and try to twist your arm.
No, that's not what you said.
Well, sometimes it's like that, right? How many of you like being sold to? How many of you kind of get a queasy feeling when someone says, you know what, take this object or take this idea and bring it to someone and sell its merit? How many of you like to do that? I mean, get a little bit of a queasy feeling in there, not sure what to do, not sure how to do it. Everybody has those butterflies. Everybody has them, even people in sales. I mean, people that work in sales, raise your hands again for me. How many of you who work in sales of some sort still get those butterflies? Still try to overcome some things. So today, this is training for us, too. Training for all of us, ongoing training. Okay, so I'm going to hand my first flip chart here to my trusty assistant, Robbie. If you put that up on the wall so it reminds everybody what our objectives are today. And for our first panelist today, after my presentation here, I'm going to introduce Robbie Rye, and he is going to cover this section here called Getting Internally Ready to Sell. Before you get out there and get into the field, you want to get internally ready to sell. And at the bottom, you may ask, how do I do that? Mr. Robbie Rye is going to help us, so please welcome Robbie.